What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? What's going on? 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 How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all come on up in here while I get myself together. While I get myself together. Let's see what's going on for the day. Let's get ourselves together. Got that up. Get my Ninja Trader on the right screen. Okay. I see a pop. I see a pop. We're going to get the Econo Day and see what's going on. We had two pieces of information come out today, so we're going to check on both of those. While I get myself together, y'all drop something in the chat so I can shout you out while I'm getting myself together. Also, let's get the pleasantries out of the way. For anybody who pulling up and don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. I get on Al Gore's internet every single day, Monday through Friday, and discuss the stock market, discuss the price action. Started out doing Tim's Tidbit, just sharing my knowledge that I have on investing, trading, all that, doing it for the free 99. Want to do it for the free 99. Gonna continue to do it for the free 99. And go live once in the morning before the market open. Look at the overnight price action and hey, what do we expect for today? What do we expect for the week? Go live in the evening after the market closes. Say, hey, did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? How close were we? Were we off? Sometimes I try to throw in some trade ideas. Sometimes I throw in some trades that I actually take. Sometimes I throw in some trades that I missed, wanted to take, couldn't take. It's not my trading style, but I see it. Just try to share everything going through the mind of a full-time trader because I'm a full-time trader. I do it all for the free 99. So if you don't mind, hit the like button. That's all I ask you to do. That's all. It might be over here somewhere. It might be over here. Leave my hand right. It might be over here somewhere. If it's like my son iPad, it might even be in the middle. But just hit the like button. That's all I ask you to do. That's all I ask you to do. If you just feel the need to want to support me and put some money in my pocket, if you feel so inclined, you can go buy a t-shirt from the merch shop, thenewtli.com, but that's not a requirement. The only requirement I have is pressing the like button and sharing it with a cousin. Share it with a cousin you like and one you don't like, so we can come together and build a new Wakanda together, man. What's going on? What's up, Rich? What's going on, Chris? What's up, 2K Crypto? What's going on here to learn and share? Cool it now. You better cool it now. What's going on, Brittany? What's up, Brittany? What's going on, Red? What I do, Red? What's going on? I see a lot more numbers than I see names in the chat. Y'all drop something in the chat so I can shout you out. The link is in the chat. If anybody wants to pull up and ask a question, anybody want to pull up and share anything, the link is in the chat. When you come in, just make sure you put something in the private chat so I know that you're a real person and you're not gonna put it on us. Yeah, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Let's go to Econo Day and see what's going on with it. We had two important pieces of information coming out today. For anybody tuning into the live who do not know how to use econoday.com, just come to econoday.com as you see up here and click on view full calendar. It lays out the economic calendar 1 week at a time. This is my site of choice for getting my economic data. You can also use forexfactory.com. For those who like Forex Factory, you got forexfactory.com. You can just go in, select the time frame you want to see. Let's select the whole week, and everything is there. I got it filtered out to only show me the USD because that's all I want to see. But you can look at all the currencies you want to look at, right? So today, and on Forex Factory, the folder colors will be red for the potential volatile market moving events for that day. And to expand it, you click on the folder here. And it says something about details. So you click on the folders here. Okay. Let me go look at Forest Factory. I don't know how to look at Econo. I mean, let me look at Econo Day. Forest Factory be confused me, but that's how you do it on Forest Factory, and this is how you do it on Econo Day. So here go Econo Day. Let's look at the job numbers first. Let's look at the initial jobless claim number first. We had two pieces of information coming out today. Two pieces of vital information that the he said he's still having flashbacks from the meat in the cage. Yeah, but it had his meat locked up. It was locked up. Okay, initial jobless claims. The consensus was 260. It came in at 262, slightly hot, little bit, pretty much in line. It's not at the top of the range. You know, let's see how the market digests that. You know, they was expecting 260, got 262. The range was from 255 to 268. So it's kind of in line, a little bit above what was expected, kind of in line within the dealing range. But let's see how the market digests that. Let's look at the big dog PPI. Let's look at the big dog PPI. Okay, that's good. That's good. The month over month for the headline was expected to increase by 0.3%, and it actually went down by 0.5, a half a percent. So that's good. The year over year for the headline was expected to be 10.3, came in at 9.8. That's good. The core was expected to be increased by 0.4. It increased by 0.2. That's good. The year over year was 7.8, expected to be 7.8. It came in at 7.2. That's good. Everything came in good. Everything came in good for the minus. They got a bunch of minuses on this one here. That came in better than expected. That came in better than expected. So the PPI looks phenomenal. That's the inflation type stuff. Yesterday was CPI. For anybody that don't know, yesterday was CPI. That's how much we as consumers are paying for the things that we, you know what I'm saying, consume GDP wise, the stuff that we pay for, food, gas, rent, mortgage, buying stuff, buying cars, buying, you know what I'm saying, everything we consume, right? And then the PPI is the people that make that stuff that we buy and consume. This is how much they're paying for it, right? So if it's coming down for them, that's a good sign for the future for us. If it's coming down for the people manufacturing it, that's why I said yesterday, the PPI, when the PPI come out, it can kind of give you like some kind of insight of what the CPI may be the next time. It ain't 100% guaranteed, but if it's costing them less to make it, then they're not going to bring the prices back down to what it used to be, but it won't keep increasing at the same rate. So that helps inflation start to peak. Everybody, you know, they painting the narrative now that inflation may be starting to peak. And that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why the Fed says everything is data dependent on what they're going to do. Right? They using the data to let them know if inflation has done this and it's not going up anymore. It's starting to curve over. You know what I'm saying? When you come up, when you go up, you get up to a certain point and then you start doing this. That means you've hit your peak. You've hit your peak. You may not be coming down yet. You hit your peak and then now you're coming down. How long this little takes, don't know. But they're hoping that it's not going to be a doop, doop. That's what they're hoping for. That's why they say it's data dependent, looking to see if it peaks and starts to come down. And with stuff like this contracting, and yesterday on the CPI, this didn't change at all. See, like this right here contracted. Let's look at the Let's look at the CPI and PPI next to each other. Let's do that. I know everybody want to get to the charts and all that right there, but this the kind of stuff that goes through the mind of little Timmy Rogers. Welcome to my world. Enjoy your stay. Let's look at CPI yesterday. Put CPI there, put PPI here. CPI there, put PPI here. Okay, so peep the CPI, right? It didn't increase at all, right? They expected it to increase a little bit, but it didn't increase at all. The PPI, month over month, they expected to increase by 0.3, and it decreased by 0.5%. You see what I'm saying? And over here, you know, they expected it, it increased less. Expected it, it increased less. So with this decreasing and that staying flat, right? With this decreasing and that decreasing next month, right? This right here should be a good sign for the CPI next month. Anything can change in between there, now and then, right? It's all data dependent, but this stuff is lagging indicators, meaning, you know what I'm saying? It's August, but we're getting July's numbers. You see what I'm saying? We're getting July's numbers right now. So in September, when we get August numbers, you know what I'm saying? So in July, it got better for the consumers. In July, it got better for the producers, right? So long as it stay the course, right, it should be a good thing for the consumers for August, because it got better for the producers in July, right? So they ain't got to keep jacking up the prices. You see what I'm saying? If it got worse for the producers in July, that means they would have to start jacking up the prices. They're not going to drop them too far. You ain't going to get back to that 99 cents a gallon like it was when I came back from Germany in 1999. You ain't going to get back to that 99, 98 cents a gallon. We ain't going to get back to the day when I used to go up to the window and hand them a $20 bill, fill up my tank, and go back and get change. We ain't getting back there. But if it's getting better for them, they don't have to keep jacking it up as much at the rate that they was jacking it up, right? Just want to, you know what I'm saying, add that right there. That's the kind of stuff that go through my mind. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know, but that's how I think about it. So, hey, it worked for me. All right, last night I came in here and I was putting some lines on the chart. I ain't gonna say not last night, this morning about 5:30. About 5:30, I came in here, put some lines on the chart. And the lines that I put on the chart were this little blue line right here and this little blue line right here. I left them there so that I know that way back over here somewhere, if I shrink all this down, right, way back over here somewhere, right here, there's some fair value gaps over there, right? On the, I think they 15-minute. There are some 15-minute fair value gaps right over here, right? I didn't fit these blue boxes right here. These are 4-hour fair value gaps. Remember yesterday when I was like, hey, I ain't got much above that. I got to go back and look to see what's to the left over there. And I had to go back. I had to go back all the way to May. I had to go back to May the 5th to figure out what was going on over here, right? Because that's how far back it was above all of the highs, right? So on May the 5th, we got a 4-hour fair value gap right here. That's what the blue box is. It's another 4-hour fair value gap. That's what that other blue box is. And I had that daily fair value gap up there. That's been there. I had that up there for a long time, right? Let me go up to like 60 minutes so I can get more of this stuff in the screen. Can't really. Let me go up to 4 hours so I can get it all in. I'm trying to get it all in the screen. There it is. Okay, boom. So, see, that's how far back I had to go to get this in. Because normally when I have my stuff loaded normally, it only go back like 15 days. So it was just, these boxes was just going off into nothing. So I had to go back to see what we had to the left, what was above these highs that we had got up above, right? So the only thing that I had over there before we hit this daily fair value gap that I done had up there for a long time, that daily fair value gap been sitting up there for a minute. The only thing we had up there was this 4-hour fair value gap and this 4-hour fair value gap. I ain't have no swing highs, no swing lows, nothing to point out, right? The only liquidity I got up here is within these fair value gaps. The first swing high we get to is this swing high over here, and let me get the level. Let me get the level. Don't say here, say the level. We got relative equal highs here. It's not really a swing high. We got some relative equal highs right here at 4302.25. That's the first swing high we get to, 4302.25. Everything else in between there are just fair value gaps. Right now. We're in the first fair value. We're inside the first 4-hour fair value gap. There's a 4-hour. Let me tell you everything that's sitting in this one spot. In this one spot right here, where this 4-hour fair value gap is, that we have got a little over 50% the way through, and then we started pulling back. Right, this blue line is the top of a 15-minute fair value gap. Inside this 4-hour fair value gap, about the exact same size is a 1-hour fair value gap. That's why I just marked the 4-hour. So all that we got, 4-hour, 1 hour, and 15 minutes, all within the same area. So this first blue line right here, that's the top of the first fair value gap from the bottom to there. That's a 15-minute fair value gap within there. Right, this second blue line up here, there's a fair value gap right there. We're inside the second fair value gap, second 15-minute fair value gap right now. That's everything that's stemming back from way over there. The next swing high is inside this daily fair value gap, and that was at 4302.25. Ain't that's what I said? Yeah, 4302.25 is just inside this daily fair value gap. That's the next swing high above this high that we just made off of the news. Did we make it off the news calendar? Let's drop down. Look like the news calendar. Let me go down to 15 minutes. Yes, this high that we just made off of the news candle. The next high, but the high that we just made off the news candle is 42.46.25. The next swing high is 43.02.25. That's the next swing high. So that's why I like the only liquidity in between 42.46.25 and 43.02.25 is found within this fair value gap, that fair value gap right there. That's the only liquidity in between those areas. So there's no resistance to the left. It is if the market start taking off at open, or if it pulled back and then decided want to take off sometime today, there's no resistance in between 42.46.25 and 43.02.25. There's nothing but fair value gaps that it can go up to and seek liquidity within. Let me say something real quick about this purple box that I got down here. Yesterday when I was looking at the ES and I was I'm like, why is it stopping here? Right? I'm like, why is it stopping here? So I looked at everything. I looked at my fair value gaps. I looked at like everything. And so I went back and I was like, okay, let me see if it's some type of breaker or anything there. So the way I look for breakers, shout out PDub, shout out Lex. I love them to death, but I ain't got time to be looking for this high, this low, this high, this low, this high. That complicated for me. I went back to the old school ICT way of looking for breakers, right? The old school, the way I initially started hearing about breakers from ICT And you know what I'm saying? I couldn't really understand it, and I never really studied it deep. But lately I've been trying to go back and study breakers in my spare time. And the way I look for breakers now, shout out Lex, shout out PDub, because once I find the breaker the way that I learned it from ICT, I can reverse engineer and see the way that I learned it from PDub and Lex with the low, the high, the lower low, the higher high. That's too much for me to be remembered, right? So the way I learned it from ICT initially, right, was like right over here. See, I got this one right here marked out, right? Let's go up to, I marked it on an hourly level, I believe. And as you can see, it's another one. I'll show you right there. It's within, it's got a 50, it repeats on the 15-minute also, right? So Pete, so here we go. We was consolidating here, right? Boom, we consolidating here, and we came down and we ran liquidity under here. So boom, we done took care of that liquidity. Boom, giving us low. Right, we came on here, ran this liquidity, giving us a low. This the way I look for it. It can be in other places, but the way I look for it, I want to see it once it done ran some liquidity somewhere. Right, boom, we ran some liquidity. Right, once we ran that liquidity, right, I look for the low where we had like where we took off from. Right, where we took off from. Right, so this the low after we ran the liquidity, right? We was trying to act like we want to shake something. You see what I'm saying? We was trying to act like we want to shake something, but we was kind of running out of gas. But once we went up, we came down. We went up, we came down. We went up, we came down. When we came down here, after we ran this liquidity right here, when we came down here, y'all, we took off, right? When we took off, we ran these highs over here, right? So boom, we took off, right? We ran these highs over here, right? So this the way I do it, right? I extend that low out in time, and then I draw like a rectangle shape. This is in my mind. A triangle shape. I'm looking at a triangle shape in my mind. But the only thing is, boom, now we got a high. That's our high, right? After we done ran this low right here, that's our high. That's the high that I'm looking at. So I done ran liquidity here, right? And boom, now I got a high there. This is my high where I'm starting it, right? So once I get my high that I'm starting it, what I want to see it do, I want to see it run some liquidity from my high that I'm watching, right? So I'm at my high, right? So I done ran liquidity. I'm at my high, right? This is my high I'm watching. I come down, boom. See? Got up under liquidity right there. Sucked it up, right? Here we go right here. Boom. Ran some liquidity up under here. Sucked it up, right? And now that I got my high that I'm watching, now I'm looking for a violent break of that high. Here you go right here. Pow! Broke through it. That high right there, that's my breaker over there. And if I'm going up, I'm using the last or the most beefiest up close candle. If I'm going down, I'm using the last or the most beefiest down close candle, right? And as you see, when I stretch that breaker out in time, when we bust through it, when the algo bust through it, we came back and we stopped right at the body of the close. Right? We came down again, boom, we stopped right within the body and we went back up. It was respecting that breaker right there. That was my answer to, man, why is it stopping here? Because I wasn't looking for the breakers. I was just trying to figure out what made it stop there. But that was my answer right there of what made it stop there and pushed up. But that's the way I ain't got time. But if I go back, now that I identified my breaker by just letting it run liquidity, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching this high. Now I'm going to watch this high after we done ran that liquidity, right? We come down and run liquidity away from this high. We coming down, boop, we ran liquidity here to the downside, and then we violently moved up past that right there, right? So take out some liquidity, right? That's my high I'm watching. Take out some liquidity, violently pass it. Now this is my potential breaker. That's what I'm watching right there. Now that I got that, now I can go back and identify which lows and highs that I should have been looking for from the beginning, right? Let's count them backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. See what I'm saying? Low, right? We went to the, oh, this is where it took off at right here. So this is where it took off here because we were struggling there. So low, see, we made a swing low. See right there, I went to the wrong one again. We made a swing low, right? So that's a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. But look at all these lows and highs in here. Which one do I pick? I don't freaking know. So that's why I went back to the old school way of how ICT, how I learned from ICT is when you got the high, right? And you make a low after running liquidity. And once you run liquidity, if you get that blast off through that high, through that breaking, because remember I told you, when me and Lex were talking, I said, Lex, why you just say it's just a breaking market structure with a little bit of fluff on it? If you would have said that from the beginning, I would have been locked in. You got me looking for low, high, low, low, high, high, low, high, low, high, low, 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 low. Oh, that's too much. So you got a high, you run liquidity from that high and get a violent burst off from running that liquidity. Now that breaking market structure right there is your potential breaker. That's so easy in my mind. Now that it's done that, I can go 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Low, high. I did it again. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Now I can do it after I know where it is. But look here, I got a low here that I keep going to the wrong one. I got a low here. I got a low there. I got a low there. I got a low there. I got a low, high, lower, low. Which one I'm supposed to count? Which one I'm supposed to count? I don't know. It's too many. It's too many. Hey, I ain't even talking about the overnight price action. I've been talking about everything else. Hey, so I already said the numbers to the upside that I was watching. Overnight price action was nothing. We dilly-dally, and then when the numbers dropped, the market took off to the upside. Right now, we are sitting at 42.39.50. I said, you see, we took out this buy side. I can move this line right now. We took that buy side out at the news candle. Out of there. Get out of there, buy side. We just formed the we're forming a 60-minute fair. We got 30 minutes, so I'm not gonna mark it out. We're forming a 60-minute fair value gap right now. The only sell side on the 60-minute that I'm highlighting, it's about 2 ticks below yesterday's high at 42.13.25. Right, yesterday's high is 42.13.75. So the first 60-minute sell side liquidity that I'm seeing is 2 ticks below yesterday's high at 42.13.25. Right, we're working on a 60-minute fair value gap right here at this 60-minute breaking structure at 42.32.50. So we got a 60-minute breaking structure right here at 42.32.50. Possibly working on a 60-minute fair value gap right there. Let me go. If the market is bullish, this 60-minute breaking structure may be the bounce point. Keep your eyes on that 60-minute breaking structure at 42.32.50. Keep your eyes on that. Dropping down to the 15-minute. The market about to open in 1 minute. Anybody that got to go and do your thing, I appreciate you for tapping in with me. Hit the like button before you get out of here. Hit the share button. What you say, BD? Truthfully, if you don't understand this, you don't fully understand the charts. I'm fine with this part of the convo. This is okay then. Appreciate that, BD. I appreciate you, my guy. What's up, BD? I didn't shout you out earlier. The market is now open. Like I said, if y'all got to go trade and do your thing, I appreciate you for hanging out. We got a 15-minute fair value gap. They didn't quite close. We got this breaking market structure right here. We got a 60-minute fair value. We're working on a 60-minute fair value gap there. We got a 15-minute fair value gap that's resting between. It's resting between a tiny one that's resting between 42.2975 and 42.3075. So it's like a one, it's just a 1 point fair value gap that's right there. 40 is that 1 point? 42.2975, 42.30. Yeah, it's just a 1 point 15-minute fair value gap right there that is resting. And that's just south of the breaking structure at that 42.3250. The market seems to be moving a little bit slow. It ain't really ripping and shaking and doing a whole lot right now. Let's look at all three indices. We didn't look at that. Let's look at them for overnight, see what happened. Overnight, the ES consolidated pretty much on the flat side. The NQ consolidated. Once we got to the London, it kind of started trading on the bottom side within this fair value gap here and rode on top of yesterday's close. The Dow was the relative strength leader overnight because it stayed above the 12 o'clock candle high that it made. It stayed above it rode above that high to the north side, well above yesterday's close throughout the entire night. It never revisited yesterday's close. The ES came very close to yesterday's close on the 5 o'clock candle. The NQ actually broke yesterday's close on the 5 o'clock candle. And all three have broke through the overnight high, made a new overnight high on the news candle. Right now, the NQ is showing the most relative strength in this hour. The Dow had the most relative strength overnight. Right now, the NQ has the most relative strength during this hour right now because the Dow is down more this hour than the NQ is. And, of course, SPY is the baby in the middle. But they was all trading relatively close throughout the night. There was no huge difference between how they was trading throughout the night besides the fact that the Dow was the relative strength leader throughout the night and throughout yesterday, because if you look at the 12 o'clock high that the Dow made in relations to the 12 o'clock high on the NQ or the ES, it was right pretty much in line with where they closed, stone's throw away, whereas with the Dow, it was much higher than where they closed. So the Dow was the relative strength leader all day yesterday. We are dilly-dallying. We are doing a bunch of nothing right now. I was really hoping to get a little bit more excitement. Can it be because the jobless claims numbers came in a little bit above what they wanted? That's why it was like a mixed thing. The PPI numbers were so great that the market took off, but they kind of died. Or is this just people taking their profits? Was yesterday, let's look at it like this right here. Was yesterday the shorts giving up, or some of the shorts giving up, which gave us this propel to the top? Was that shorts getting like, oh man, forget it, I give up, pay out and take off? And then is today just, we still going up? Are we just, repricing back down? Are we just repricing back down? Let me open up my trading platform. Because we up. And if we get down to this fair value gap, I'm gonna trust the process, even if the market want to try to fake me out. Even if the market want to try to fake me out, gotta trust the process. That's why you use risk management. I should have been had my platform open already. To wick or not to wick? That is the question. Right there at the top of the wick would be right at that fair value gap. Top of the wick would be right at that fair value gap. Do anybody got any questions, man? Let me look at the chat real quick. Anybody got any questions? Oh, Sonya, what's up? Mendez, what's up? I ain't shout y'all out. Laverne, what's happening? What's going on, Trey? Michelle Tucker. I ain't holler at you, Michelle Tucker. What's going on? Sanjay, what it is? Seawalk, what's going on? Lil Hawk, what's going on, Lil Hawk? What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Robinson? Sam B, what's going on? What's up? Here to learn and share. JMC, Kevo. Yeah, it is important. It is important. You got to know about that stuff. Do you use something other than the daily candles to get your previous day high and low? I think my high is different. Now I use the well, this with Ninja Trader, sometimes it act kind of weird, right? Let's say if we make a high after the close, right? If I have it on daily candles and I mark it on the daily candles, right? And the high happened after the 4 o'clock close, sometime it'll be a little off if we just kept running. Because usually I try to mark it based off of like the intraday candles, and sometimes it like kind of throws stuff off. So like let's look at the high for yesterday for the 10th, right? I got that marked. See, it's marked on the 1700 candle, right? But if I marked it on the 1600 candle, it would have been a little lower. Like I actually think I had it marked on the 1600 candle initially, right? And then I end up moving it there because I think I moved it to you when I had it on the daily thing, and I set it on the daily. So most of the time I try to set it with stuff that happened before the close, but on this one here, I just went on ahead and set it to that because the high of the day happened right on the closing candle, and this one wasn't that far away. So I like when it fall, the high happened over here, and then we end up closing like a little bit down, because then it's easier for me it all lines up on the day. When I look at the daily candles, it'll line up. But a lot of times it don't be lining up because the how Ninja Trader count the days and stuff like that. It count the days based off of like opening at 6 p.m. and then closing at like 5 p.m. You know what I'm saying? That's how it count the day. It count the day from 6 p.m. tonight until 5 p.m. tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I count the day. That's why it be throwing me off a little bit. I said all that to say, I usually try to use the intraday candles, but if we make a high right at the end of the day and it's real close to the 1700 candle, I just put it to the 1700 candle. What's going on, Towns? What's happening with your Towns? Towns, you never told me how to say your first name for real. You supposed to told me that. Are you trading under? No, not yet. I ain't trading under LLC yet. We me and my wife still trying to figure the business part out. We trying to figure out exactly how we gonna set up our business before we do all of that. We're still trying to figure that part out. Well, we're still trying to plan that part of it, because it's so it's different. It's different It's different ways you can set up your business. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about like, what are you trying to do? What's your mission? Is your mission paying yourself more? Is your mission paying less taxes? Is your mission, you know what I'm saying? What's your mission of your business? How you gonna set it up? You gonna set it up as an S corp? You gonna set it up as a C corp? How you gonna set your business up? A lot of people get dangled into the whole, oh, do it as an LLC. It ain't got. It's just the LLC is just kind of like, it's a separate entity from you. You know what I'm saying? And if you open a single person LLC, you know what I'm saying, the IRS look at that pretty much as a sole proprietor anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's still, it's still the same when it comes to filing your taxes, cause a single person LLC, they just look at that as, sole proprietor anyways. But I'm not a financial advisor or a fiduciary, but yeah, we still trying to figure that part out, to figure out exactly how we want to run the business and figure out the best move for us to make as far as that right there. And the reason why I haven't formed it as an LLC is because as a single person LLC, it'll be the same tax wise. Yep. Get the tax write-offs as a business owner too. Yeah, it's just about like how we want to set up the business. We're trying to figure out the best plan of attack of how we want to set the business up. I've noticed that my Thinkorswim Trading View highs and low numbers are not the same as NinjaTrader highs and low numbers. They're a little off sometimes, and sometimes they are the same. Cause the wicks, that's, we had talked about this one time before, Ryan. The wicks is how the different platforms squeeze a little bit more juice out the turnip. The wicks, that's why a lot of people don't like to use the wicks. That's why that's a lot of people argument of not using the wicks, because the wicks aren't like guaranteed to match up on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? The wicks is like how the different brokerages, the different broker houses, that's how they squeeze more juice out the turnip. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if my wick go down to 42, 41, 50, you know what I'm saying, like the wick on Trading View or Trade Station or Robinhood might go to 42, 41, 48, and somebody else might go to 42, 41, 53. You know what I'm saying? That's how they squeeze the juice out the turnip, by getting them little extra little points and half a points and stuff to get more money. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Over all these people here, you got a million people that's trying to get out at this price right here. You know what I'm saying? If I could squeeze 2 cents out of them, 3 cents out of them, man, that's good money over time. You feel me? That's real good money over time. But that's why the wicks don't long as it's, you know what I'm saying, long as it's within like a couple cent, that's why I'd be like close enough for government work. And that'd be a big part of the argument about to wick or not to wick. Because the wicks ain't what they say real price action. Hey, it did not get down to where I was looking at. I hope it didn't anyway. I changed it to 60-minute count. No, it didn't. It came close. It came close. I'm looking at this fair value gap right here, right at the top of this green candle right here, because this is our breaking structure right there. I'm looking at that fair value gap right there. That's what I was looking at. That's why I opened up my my platform, because we came down in here. I was looking to try to go long on something, but I haven't looked at anything. I've been running my mouth, so I don't know what I want to go long on. So I might miss it because I haven't really looked at this. I haven't looked at this right here. What's the day? That's QQQ. Get out of here, QQQ. I'm not looking at you right now. Oh, let me look at something real quick on QQQ. While I got this up. Okay. My sweetie back in the money on her position that went real bad. She had bought a position. It went real bad on us. And I told her just to ride it out. Cause I ain't got no time to be trying to actively trade her thing. I don't have a login for her individual account. And I was like, just ride it out. And she back in the money right now. If we once we I already told her once we hit the weekly target, she out of there on that position. She back in the money now. She has some January 2023 350 calls on QQQ. And I just looked at it. She back in the money now. So tomorrow, she gonna be out of there tomorrow. Depending on how the day, if the day start looking real ugly, she might be out of there today. But if the day go ahead and do what it's supposed to do today, then tomorrow she gonna be out of there. Cause she back in the money right now on that 350. On that 350 right there. That's good juju. Okay, back to what it's going back up. So it didn't come down to where I needed it to come to get them calls. I need to check just in case it do come back. Let me get on SPY. Anybody got anything else while I'm just running my mouth and trying to figure out what I want to do? I do not know how people live trade and talk to people on the internet. I'm going crazy right now. My mind is like I hadn't even looked at what I'm supposed to be looking at. I don't know how people live trade and talk to people on the internet. August 19th. What's the day? August 19th. That's too close. That's too I'll just play it short. I'll just play it for today if I get August 19th. August 19th. Where we at? What we at? We at 423. We at 423 right now. 423. We pushing. If we come back down to there, let me see where we at. SPY. If we come back down to there, what would that be? What would it bring us to? What's that? 845 candle. What's that? The 845 candle. What's the 15-minute candles I'm looking at? So that'll be around 4. Let's just say 422. If we drop back down to 422. Okay, if we drop back down to 422, I could get a 422 if we drop back down there. So if we go back down to there, that'll put that at like 480. What's that? 490. If we go back there. Anybody got anything while I'm like kind of hyper focused right now? What was that price? 432.50. 432.50. 1 minute don't want to give it up. The 1 minute say, nah, boy. The 1 minute saying, nah, boy, I'm not giving it up. He saying, nah, boy, I'm not giving it up. Hey, I'm totally ignoring y'all right now. I jolly pies. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. What's the day? Today, what's the day? Thursday? Okay, today is Thursday. All right, so that's all I got. We've been on here 50 minutes. I don't see any other questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'll see y'all tonight for the price action recap. Trade safe. If you're gonna trade safe. I don't know. I'm not focused right now. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. If you stayed this long, please hit the like button and please share it with somebody. That 1 minute saying I'm not giving it to you. Please hit the like button. Please share it with somebody. I'll see y'all tonight at 7:30 for the price action recap. Until then, gone.